Hi there, Ward Willison from All Body Care. So in today's video, we're going to talk about one of the 5 ones I talked about, which is food. So I talked about food, water, sleep, gentle exercise, and fun. So we're going to talk about food. We're actually going to talk about food. So I have 3 rules for eating, which kind of sounds like 4, but I always talk to clients about you want to eat regular meals, don't work when you eat, sit down, and chew your food. And people always want to know what kind of food. Let me explain it to you like this. You want to eat regularly because you want to have a fairly regular blood sugars. Blood sugars isn't just for diabetic people, it's for all of us. If you miss a meal, you're going to have a drop in blood sugar and other things are going to get released in your body. And most people don't work as well. There's a lot of talk about intermittent fasting and this kind of stuff. And for sure, it's all useful at times, but generally speaking, for general good health, if you can, you have 3 meals, kind of a bigger breakfast, a medium-sized lunch, and a smaller dinner. Because you need the calories in the daytime, you need less at nighttime, right? So you want to try to eat regular meals. And that's the first rule, because if you don't have anything to eat, it's very difficult to do anything. You don't have any nutrition to make you better, So without regular meals, it's difficult to go to step 2. Step 2 is when you eat, don't work, don't read, don't watch TV, don't do exercise. You only have enough blood in your body to run a few things. Most of your blood just goes to keep you alive and just run you. And the next, you have 3 big draws of blood. You have your mental processes, seeing, hearing, talking, thinking. You have your physical processes of your skeletal muscles. You have your internal process of your digestive muscles and your internal digestive organs. And in the hierarchy of needs, we always say if you see a bear, what happens first? You go, that's a bear. And then you go, I got to run from the bear. And then later when the bear, drops dead from you're such a good athlete, you go, I'm going to eat that bear. But it doesn't work the other way around. So if you're watching television or working or reading or playing on your computer, even casually, your body doesn't recognize that very well, and a lot of blood ends up in your head, and you have less blood to your stomach. You're going to get poorer digestion. And when you get poor digestion, you get poor raw materials into you. Okay? That brings me to a point. Just because you eat something doesn't mean it's inside of you. It has to be absorbed first. And how I explain that is, say you put a marble in your mouth. Is the marble inside of you? Well, you can spit it back out. So it's not inside of you, it's surrounded by you. Well, if you swallow the marble, is it inside of you? And again, it's not, because it can go out the back door. You're just surrounded. It has to go into you. It has to be absorbed into you. And people like me who are a little more thinner, we just don't absorb food very well. People think we have a very high metabolism, but that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes we just absorb nutrition poorly. Okay? There's other reasons as well. So eat regular meals. Don't work, don't read, don't watch TV, and sit down. You want to sit down and eat much like we did in the Grandpa did. Sit down and socialize. You want to either talk to people, listen to gentle music, or eat in silence. And that way you get the most blood flow to your stomach and get the best chance of absorbing the nutrition. People are always asking, but what should I eat? What should I eat? What should I eat? And I've never really mentioned it, because as soon as you start doing the important one, which the last one there is chew it. Once you start chewing your food and you start tasting your food, you will magically start making better choices of what you eat, because your body will go, this tastes terrible. And this isn't really a big secret, is most people just don't chew well enough. Now, a secret with chewing, most people chew 5-6 times and they swallow it basically whole. And I won't tell you what happens to that food but ask me if you come to the clinic and I'll explain what happens if you swallow food pretty much whole. It comes out whole. But when you chew your food better, your body gets a better understanding of what you're eating, you get the better enzymes and acids in your stomach, and you just get a much better chance to absorb it. And it also gives you better feedback about what you're eating, and you'll just magically start choosing better foods. Okay? And then the last thing we'll talk about with food is cooked versus raw. Okay, a lot of people are very big into raw food, and never mind if you're a vegetarian, vegan, you eat whatever you eat. In Chinese medicine, we suggest you eat everything, which includes meat. And you need roughly 2 or 3 hockey puck sized bits of meat a week. Not a lot, but it's very good for building red blood. And I know there's a huge argument about that. And you have to understand something. If you look at my body type and other people's body types, you can see a huge variety of those body types. Therefore, we need a huge variety of conversation around who gets to eat what. People from Iceland eat differently than people from Brazil. People from Australia eat different than other parts of the world. So one-on-one, you can always make better conversations than in these big groups. But generally speaking, we'll go into raw versus cooked. So let's just say these are 2 equal units. So in the raw state, we'll say this has 100 units of energy and this has 100 units of energy. Okay? When I eat this, I get all 100 units. So there's still 100 units of energy in this carrot. And because of how food is constructed molecularly, I still have to basically cook this to get the nutrition out of it, which is going to be done through my stomach acids and stomach action. Most people in North America have very weak stomach acids. So generally we're going to absorb, I'll say 10 units of energy out of this carrot. Okay? The cooked started with 100. We cook it, there's maybe 25 left for sure, almost none. A lot is cooked out. It's true, But because it's already partially broken down, it's much more available to get to us. And I think that we'll probably get 20 units of energy out of cooked food and 5 or 10 out of raw food. And that's going to upset some people, but that's just my experience clinically. Now, you'll see a lot of vegetarians have very stout digestive processes. They really have great stomach acids, they have great pancreatic function, they have great bile function, they have great acids, and they are very good at digesting and eating raw food and a lot of vegetables. And it's true, that's how probably we all used to eat thousands of years ago or even a few hundred years ago. But for sure, when a person's become sick or under strain and their acids are working less, their pancreas is working less, cooked warm food is going to be beneficial. And when you put cold foods into your stomach, you're cooling down your stomach and it has to heat it up. And that's going to take a lot of blood flow and really mess up function. So eating cold foods is very detrimental. Warm food, cooked food is very beneficial. Okay? Now, I learned nutrition when my first career as a chef, right? So I've been studying food and nutrition since I was a young person. I wanted to become a chef since I was 12, and I've been studying food and nutrition for a very long time. And I'm well aware there's a lot of variety to what I'm talking about. Generally speaking, eat 3 meals a day, have warm cooked food, sit down, visit, and chew it. And then what you eat is a whole other story. Remember, the first rule is have 3 meals a day. All right? See you next time. Thanks.